Hello, everyone. My name is ChangHun Sung, and I work as an audio software engineer at the Supertone. And it is a great honor to represent my many excellent colleagues and deliver this ADC sponsored talk today. So first, let me introduce our company. Actually, this year marks our third participation as a sponsor of the ADC. And Supertone was spun off from the Mark Lab at the Seoul National University in 2021. And Professor K. Lee, the head of the lab, is also the CEO of the Supertone. At that time, Supertone had a high-quality voice synthesis technology based on its proprietary foundation AI model called Neural Audio Analysis and Synthesis, aka NANSY. So, leveraging this technology, Supertone built a business in fields like enterprise solutions and media content production studio. And as well, meanwhile, I was working as a game engine programmer since 2018. Used to develop a graphics pipeline or optimizing physics engines with C++. And someday, I became interested in AI technology, especially for the audio. So I joined Supertone at 2021 to make dreams come true. So I took a role of implementing user-centric products that Supertone didn't previously had. And currently, I'm the leader of the audio dev team, which mainly focused on audio specialized software engineering. So that was the introduction of our company and speaker. So this is the entire products that Supertone currently developing. It is a little bit outdated, but still informative. Since then, after about 2.5 years after I joined the Supertone, I have released 3 different products and responsible for 2 different SDK and the director of 1 development framework. Today, I would like to share those experiences and some lessons learned during this whole journey. Let me briefly introduce the 3 individual products I've developed and released at the Supertone. This is a Supertone Clear. I believe some of you guys might be familiar with this plugin. And it is a real-time voice separator plugin. Let's see a simple demo here. Sorry. Yeah, I'll just explain. It is basically a voice separator from the noise, and it supports VST and VST3 audio unit, and also AAX. And also it runs in Windows and macOS, including Apple Silicon. It offers remarkably clean separation performance while being lightweight enough to run in real-time processing. And next one is most interesting demo, but I'm afraid it might work or not. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is basically this is the real-time voice changer desktop app. It runs in, it also supports Windows and Mac OS, and also completely transform the voice into the different character, different persona. Well, there were many audio software products that modifying the voices in real time, but there had been none of that could completely transform the voice into the different characters. So we can confidently say that it's quite new to the market. There are 3 unique features that the Supertone Shift has. The first thing is we've achieved a very short latency of 35 milliseconds. This allows users to monitor the transformed voice almost in real time. Second, it performs inferencing using only the CPU without the GPU, yet generates high quality audio at 44.1 kilohertz sample rate. Third, lastly, we are constantly updating the unique character voices. We are currently offer about 40 voices, and the number of that will continuously grow. Please visit our booth if you want to try it by yourself, or you can just download it on our website. Our booth is over the conservatory, right? Yeah. Lastly, I'd like to introduce our brand new plugin, Supertone Air. It's a brand new product released about last week. And Supertone Air is fundamentally a kind of convolution reverb plugin. But however, what makes this product special is that it generates the convolution impulse response from the reference audio. Let's watch a simple demo. Okay.
Hey, if you ever need your dialogue to sound like it was recorded in a specific place like this, Check out Supertone Air. It makes your studio dialogue sound like it was recorded right there in the same place.
Do you get it? How does it work? Okay, here's a more detailed demo. Okay.
Hey, if you ever need your dialogue to sound like it was recorded in a specific place like this, check out Supertone Air. It makes your studio dialogue sound like it was recorded right there in the same place.
So put the reference here and there, and inferencing the impulse response. And then?
Check out Supertone Air. It makes your... Hey, if you ever need your dialogue to sound like it was recorded in a specific place like this, check out Supertone Air. It makes your studio dialogue sound like it was recorded right there in the same place.
Yeah, that is our brand new plugin recently launched. And also this was the second audio plugin after the Supertone Clear. It focused furthermore to the professional sound engineer. Traditionally, post-production engineers have to put significant effort into matching the room acoustics of the original recording location with studio recordings, a process known as ADR, automated dialogue replacement. But Supertone Air is designed to streamline this process with AI technology. So that was the brief introduction of our 3 products. And if you have any question about the products introduced so far, then please visit our booth to try them out yourself. Now, let's move on to the main topic and delve deeper into the process of developing these products. But for sure, I'm not here to say that our way was the definitive answer, but rather I just want you to know the kinds of our considerations and things that we went through while developing these products. Okay, let's return to the story of Clear. The technology used in this product was originally just the data pre-processing technology for the Nancy, which was the Supertone mainly focused on. But the speech enhancement technology, aka as RTSE model, was unexpectedly done well at separating clear voice from the noise. So this was my first task to build an AI-powered product since I joined the Supertone. Literally the first task, because we had a kickoff meeting at my first day at the office. So yeah. Developing with this model was a kind of test flight for me to productizing an AI model from the laboratory. And before we start, let's break down the developing a plugin into 3 parts. Well, definitely fun, mostly or rarely fun, or not fun at all. Well, drawing a prototype is exciting, right? And experimental features, definitely fun. And pricing a plugin, yeah, it's mostly fun. And yeah, mostly fun. Writing a code, who doesn't? And writing a test, well, I do like, and maybe automating a build pipeline or supports a variety of platforms, maybe or maybe not, rarely fun, but not fun at all. Worrying about the crack, worrying about the, yeah, that's it. Listen, Adobe Creative Cloud, go away. Yeah, that's what I worry about. Worrying about crash, worrying about an unexpected environment, worrying about any kind of things, worrying about any kind of existential crisis or blah, blah, blah. Okay, but before we start the developing plugin, this was the actual prototype version of the Supertone Clear. We have to decide how many knobs we have to provide. What kind of feature do we mainly focus on? So we really did have a fun. And most fun part was the beta version of the Clear. The beta version released at the 2022 September. It is named the Koyo. And some of you guys might recognize, but I can tell you this whole entire UI was rendering in OpenGL with fully physically based on 3D rendering. So you can see that stereo and solo light button reflects its light into the metallic nodes. Yeah, I said I was from the game engine programmer. So I implement the dynamic deferred lighting, and the result of that, a lot of consumers complain us that that plugin consumes a large memory, and why does this plugin consume GPU consumption? So we have to give up that fancy rendering pipeline. So after 1 year, we officially released the Supertone Clear and compact and more restrained graphic, but still compact and beautiful. And focused on more user experience and trying to be more informative. As a result of it, lots and lots of users loved our product, and currently it has become an essential plugin for many sound engineers with about 100,000 downloads. It was really happy that our first product got a great success, but unfortunately, the process we went through was not that happy. At the moment that I joined this company, development workflow was overly sequential and burdened with the numerous dependencies. For example, if I requested for a new parameter to the RTSC model, then our machine learning engineering team should be involved and spend some time to fix it, and then pass it to the SDK team, and then I got the modified version. Every hands-off phase were a bottleneck, and I felt I cannot make product under these circumstances. I just can't. So I decided to have another fun. Let me introduce our proprietary development framework named Node. Before we start, how many of you guys attend our talk last year? You. Some of you guys might remember this framework. Node is a node-based visual programming tool, and it integrates inference engines such as PyTorch and ONNX runtime. And it also supports direct connections to audio and MIDI devices. It's performance-oriented architecture, which is close to, and in some cases faster than native C++. And also apply the modular design also allows programs that developed in Node to be easily reused. So I'd like to talk about the pipeline of product development, but it's quite a short time. So this is just the illustration that how the sequential pipeline was awful. And I tried to integrate those processes into the one integrated development framework. So that was my ambition, and I'm still struggling too. But as a proof of concept, I built a node with now exactly the same with the Supertone Clear. So you can see that this graph consists with some components that working as well as Clear. So it packaged into this kind of node, and this node will also used as any other default nodes. So it worked like a charm, so which motivated me to push forward with the project that then expanded its application to another project. So actually, I've introduced this project at last year's ADC, but I have to say really sorry to you guys that I promised I released to public this project. And many people sent me a huge support about it. I really does, but unfortunately, due to our company decisions, and we decided not to open this project to public, but rather than focusing on keep enhancing this project to accelerate our internal development process. Still, but I hope I could open up this project to public someday. But please understand, yeah. Okay, so I'll introduce the next product, Supertone Shift, and also cover up how does Node has been utilized within this project. First, so the Supertone Shift is basically a desktop application which runs on Windows and Mac OS. It can be connected with third-party apps such as Google Meet, Discord, Zoom, and as I said before, it provides a variety of unique characters. Into the technology side, it doesn't have any published academic paper for this yet, but we can say we're leveraging the DDSP to processing audio in real time, and it provides control parameters such as pitch variance, and blending, and it is extremely lightweight model, so it runs only on CPU. Let's go deep more. Actually, this is the Node graph of Supertone Shift's audio processing. It consists with encoder and decoder. Encoder is for analyze input voices to extract input voice features such as pitch and embed vector. All components from simple SDFT modules to DDSP modules are all implemented with the Node graph. And the decoder part, which performs an actual wave signal generation, which is also implemented with Node graph. Decoder itself determines the characteristic of certain unique voices. So again, app itself contains an encoder block which performs an analysis of input voices from user, and each individual voices are consistent with their own decoder block. So when a user selects their desired voice, then the corresponding decoder is loaded into the processing pipeline and perform a voice conversion in real time. But to think about the Node graph itself, it's just an XML representation which contains the information of nodes and connections and reference to another resources. So the actual processing algorithm itself is not embedded inside of app, but it is just one of resource of the app. So we could design this kind of structure. When we have new voices to deploy, then we package the voice as a Node graph, its own fine-tuned within the own fine-tuned decoder block. And once the new voices are updated, users can download them from the server without updating or reinstalling the app. I can say this flexibility makes us life more easier. Yeah. And there's no bottlenecks on this entire pipeline that I went through before developing it clear. But still, there was another kind of challenge that we have experienced. Actually, Supertone Shift is not for a professional audio engineer, and it is more like targeting a casual and more wide range of users who just want to change their voices. For example, VTuber or podcaster, any kind of voice content creator. And we found that they are not familiar with traditional audio software. They don't have any experience what does sample rate means and what is the difference between mono and stereo. But we still need to serve our products, and we should care about their experiences. So we had lots and lots of discussion and arguing during the decision making. I'll introduce one of the interesting case. It really seems nothing, but most of our teammates doesn't overlook those details. So it was like, yeah, well, it is quite obvious, right? The representation of the volume scale in decibel scale is quite normal too in our fields, but what I want to say, it was quite new to us that considering tiny details during development, who doesn't know very much about audios. As a result, we conclude that while there may be something familiar, there is nothing to take for granted. Again, and the last one, the Supertone Air, and also utilized the Node. Okay. As I mentioned before, it is designed to streamline an ADR process with AI technology for a professional sound engineer in post-production studio. I don't remember what was the first idea of this plugin, but we've been received lots and lots of feedback from Supertone Clear users who works in a real big sound studio and had a long experience of these fields. They frequently asked us aren't we have another technology that can solve another tricky problems in audio production fields? So we were thinking about that problem a long time. At that moment, one of our proficient research scientists, Sang Hun, done his research about generating a room impulse response with AI. He utilized transformer model not to build a ChatGPT, but rather than to estimate the room characteristic, which can be represented as an impulse response. It's called acoustic scene transfer model, aka AST. So we thought that this technology could solve one of the problems that our professional users might have interest in. So we decided to build a new plugin with this model. First, I investigate the inferencing pipeline of inferencing, and I could not fully understand, and I don't have to, it's theory, but understand enough to recognize how the data fly through this model. So it consists with the encoder. Encoder receives the target voice, target source and dry source, and goes to the transformer, and after the result of the transformer goes to the post-processor to refine a final result of the impulse response. after the understanding the pipeline, I drew a same data flow with Node as well. So it was quite straightforward that Node is designed to easily handle the data sequence with the functions. And the diagram also represents the actual data flow. So it was quite shorten up the development cycle. On top of that, to provide more rich controllability to estimating the IR, we add some control parameters such as damping to the IR and decay for the IR and proximity, or simple low and high pass filters. Those are also built with Node. Since Node is a programmable framework, and it means it can implement any kinds of DSP algorithm which can be written in another language. And also, as I mentioned before, the Node graph itself is just a simple XML. So we could easily develop the core processing logic one by one without rebuilding or recompiling at every modification. So it really does accelerate the developing process. So every circumstances for developing Air was truly well prepared. The foundational model was solid, the requirements and the task to solve was also solid. And lots of our enthusiastic users were eager to give us productive feedback about it. So entire development time was only about 6 months. Someone might think that is too long, but I'm quite proud of what our team accomplished. Yeah. But also, there was also some lessons learned from this period. There are a lot of things, but the biggest one was the misunderstanding the terms with each other, especially for the research scientists. For example, as a developer of myself, I consider the terms performance as a quantitative indicator of latency of algorithms or computing efficiency, and it's kind of task to be optimized, and it is not always good. In contrary, for our research team, especially working on generative AI models, the terms performance means fidelity or robustness of the model, how it sounds real or how it generates the good result despite of bad input. Yeah, that is their using the terms performance. So without resolving this mismatch, any kind of misunderstanding keep blocking our communications. But both of us want to be our product success, yeah? And both of us want our users to love our product. We did a lot of discussion about how should we design, how should we develop product, and try to break through the challenge based on this common ground. Yeah, we want the user loves our product. That's all. Yeah, it was a long way. Conclusions. Yeah. It is important to do your own best, but we realize that it is also important to synergize you and your team's expertise. And also, needless to say, effective communication is always gold. It turns out that it reduces a tons of unnecessary misunderstanding by the good communication. Well, secondly, focusing on user, not the fancy technology itself. We need to look at what problems to be solved and what needs to be met, rather than the fancy technology itself. And despite the solution seems to be a magic one, it always depends on who our customers are. So we always have to be aware of. And lastly, have fun. It is the most important thing, I guess. Building a new product with a new technology was the most exciting experience for me for the last 2.5 years. And that feeling always has been the biggest motivation for me. And I hope you guys also having fun with developing a product, designing a new software, and any kind of inspiring ideas with the new AI technology. Okay, have fun. Thanks.